Hello, this is a tutorial on how to use Audacity to create a binaural beat. And Audacity is a free download from the internet. If you Google it, you can get a version for Microsoft or for Apple. And it also will work with you to create any frequency you like. Now, our application for Audacity is actually very simple. So I'm going to show you exactly how we use it. And I'm going to move it to the middle of the screen here. Okay. And I understand that in these videos you can't actually see the main menu bar at the top. So I'm going to describe this to you. You want to, first of all, click on File and then create a new file, which is what I've just done. I've done it again for you. And then the only other two menu headings that are of interest are Tracks and Generate. And they are the fifth and the sixth along from File. So the first one is Tracks, and you can now see the drop-down window when I click on it. And I want to add a new one, so I'm going to add a new mono track. And there is my track. And then I'm going to go to Generate right next door to Tracks as the menu heading, and I'm going to click on Tone. And you can see the little window that comes up, and the program has invited me to fill in some boxes. Now, the only two boxes that are of consequence to us are this one, the frequency box, and the duration. And when you first get Audacity, you will see that your preset will be 30 seconds. But I want to have something that runs for 1 hour, so I change that number to a 1. And my base frequency is going to be 100. And what that means, as I create the track, what that means is that I'm going to use that as my reference point, and then my next track that I make will be a different frequency. And you could pick any frequency. I'm picking 100 because it's a nice number to work with. You could pick 10 or 106 or whatever you wanted. It doesn't really matter. Now, I'm going to try play that for you, but it doesn't want to. You can, if you put your ear to the speaker, you may hear a very low hum. And now I want to create a second track, and this is the whole trick to binaural beats. So I'm going to click on Track again, Add New, and it'll be a mono track. And then the next heading to Tracks is Generate. I click on Generate, click Tone, and it's going to bring back that same box again. Now this time I'm going to put in 104, because the difference between 100 and 104 is 4 Hertz. And 4 Hertz induces the theta state, a deep meditative state. So now I've created these two tracks. If I press play, your ears cannot hear both tracks at the same time. They struggle to hear them, and so you'll hear it as a wave. It'll be like a woo 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 sound. Here we go. And that is your binaural beat. Now you can export this into iTunes, or you can export it into GarageBand. And in order to export, you're going to press on File, and you'll see Export Audio. And clicking on Export Audio will give you the chance to put in your title, binaural theta state, and I'm going to save it in my off iTunes files. And as I save it, I'm going to be told my tracks will be mixed down to a single mono channel, and I can put in my name and anything I want. And then I will be invited to either locate a file that exists on my laptop, on my machine already, or if I don't have a copy of Lame, I will then click Download. So you may not have a copy, you will want to click Download, and that will take you to a page on your browser which will have instructions for both Windows and Mac. And if you follow and download and install instructions, you will be able to then move that music file wherever you wish. So that's how simple it is. I'm going to go through it one more time a little bit more quickly, and in fact this time we'll try a different beat. This time I'm going to play for you the Schumann frequency. So again, I'm going to go to Tracks, Add New, Mono. And then I'm going to go to Generate, Tone. And I'm going to use 100 as my base point again. Now we're going to create a slightly higher frequency, and the Schumann frequency is 7.85 Hertz. So I've put in 100. I'm going to create one more mono track. And now I want to generate a tone that is going to be 7.85 Hertz higher or lower than 100. But since I'm not a great mathematician, I'm going to go higher there. And then press OK. So my second track will be 7.85 Hertz binaural beat. And you'll hear the difference. It's a much higher frequency. It's over 3 times as high. That's the 2 Hertz, and this is the 7.85 Hertz. Now here's the deal with these soundtracks. You can put them into GarageBand and you can fade them in and out when you want. So if you're doing a 1-hour breath work, you may wish to start someone off at the well-being frequency. So if they're a bit nervous when they come into the room and they start the breathwork session, you can bring them down to a comfortable sensation. And then as you reach your peak of music halfway through your breathwork session, you may want to increase that up to 10 or 12. Don't increase much beyond that, because if you do, you actually agitate people. 16 is high agitation, so you want to stay somewhere around 10 or 12. And then once you've peaked, you can drop it right back down to 4. I've dropped it down to 2 before for the post-peak period when people are in a deep meditative state, and then gradually bring it back to 7.85 to exit the session. Now I've done this without telling people and with telling people, and I get the same results. People generally have a much deeper experience with binaural beats than they do without. But they don't actually have to hear them. This is a vibration, and the body will pick up the vibration even if it's sub-audible. In other words, you can't quite hear it. What happens with mine is I put them as a very low hum. It almost sounds like a background noise, but it's sufficient and it can't be really detected over music. So they listen to the music as normal, but actually get the full benefit of the binaural beat. So I really recommend you play with it and enjoy it and test it on yourself first. And if you're a meditator and you want to explore the values of taking yourself down to a theta or a delta state, you can do that. Just make sure you bring yourself back up, and so you know how to come back to the room again. So blessings to you all. I hope this has been of some value to you, and I hope you enjoy playing with binaural beats with your breathwork sessions. Thanks.